Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. We are ecstatic to be here with you at the official launch of the We Are Eagles book. I am so excited. We have a wonderful program prepared for you all today, and I could not be more excited to welcome you. My name is Gabby Hernandez Branch, and I'm going to be the MC today of this wonderful event. We have incredible people joining us, not only celebrating Anna Marie, our author, but so many wonderful special guests that we have in store. I want to thank you everyone for being here at Fig Factor Media Facebook page where we're hosting this wonderful event. Fig Factor Media is all about sharing inspiration and dreams of our authors, and I'm so happy to be here. As we kick off this event, I want to introduce a very special person today. Her name is Jacqueline Camacho Ruiz. She is not only our founder and CEO of Fig Factor Media, but Jackie is also a dream catcher, is what a lot of people call her, because that's exactly what she does. She catches dreams, author dreams, and makes them a reality. I'm really excited to present her, for her to share a few words about this special moment and about this special program today. A little bit about Jackie. Jackie is a visionary social entrepreneur that has created an enterprise of inspiration. Her keen sense of service, coupled with the vision to bring good to the world, has led her to create two successful award-winning companies, establish two nonprofit organizations, publish 24 books, create over 10 products, and has held dozens of wonderful events around the world in the past decade. Jackie believes that magic's, yes, magic's, a made-up word that means magic times 10, is the intersection of profit and impact. Jackie believes that taking off is optional, but landing on your dreams is mandatory. And with that, thank you and welcome, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Gabby. I am beyond excited to be here because as an immigrant myself, I can feel the love for every one of the amazing stories, the love that Anna Marie Tomczyk, our amazing new author, has put into capturing every one of the stories. I, as an immigrant, came to the United States at the age of 14 with a bag full of dreams. I didn't speak a word of English, and I think the work that you're about to witness, the magic that you're about to witness with these incredible stories, and the 2,500 plus amazing immigrants that the Dominican Center has helped is nothing short than amazing. I had the pleasure of meeting Anna Marie a few years back in her incredible journey as a journalist, and to kind of bring it full circle, to come back together and to celebrate today, to elevate not only her as the author, but to elevate all the incredible stories of my fellow immigrants that are captured in every one of the pages. I think that the readers will fall in love with every one of them, will find gems, the core values, the stories, the love inside every one of these pages. So, Anna Marie, I am beyond excited. I am so proud of you taking the time and dedication to elevate every one of my fellow immigrant stories. I know that the stories will go far and wide and will touch hearts beyond places that we can imagine. These are stories that need to be shared, stories that need to be heard, stories that we need to connect with. So congratulations, and I officially welcome all of you to join us for this incredible celebration of stories, of amazing stories that elevate our world to a whole new place with love, with passion, with core values, so that you can be inspired today and tomorrow and the next day. Thank you so much, Gabby, for hosting this incredible event. And you're in for a treat. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you so much for those incredible words. Wow, we are so happy that that connection, as you mentioned, connections are made and then dreams happen after that, and amazing magics, as you say, comes out of it. So thank you. And I'm so excited to bring forth our official author, Anna Marie Tomczyk. As Jackie mentioned, Anna Marie is a very, very special and wonderful human being, and we are so happy that she's here with joining us today. I want to give her a proper introduction. She's a wonderful person, mentor, friend, daughter, so many wonderful things, but I want to give her a proper introduction. Anna Marie's byline has appeared in the U.S. News and World Report, the ABA Journal, Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, the Daily Herald, the Daily Southtown, and other print and online publications. Over the years, she has interviewed everyone from inspiring high school students and community leaders to celebrities and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. In 2020, she founded the book writing company Forest Glen Media LLC, and We Are Eagles is her first book. Wow, with that, please help me welcome Anna Marie Tomczyk.
Well, thank you, Gabby, and thank you, Jackie, for those introductions. I'm very honored. It has been kind of a long journey because I left the newspaper business back in 2017 with some plans to do freelance writing and to write a book. And I had shared some of those with my family, and they're all actually behind me and represented in photos behind me of all the people who have sort of loved and supported me over the years. And basically, I wanted to write some inspiring work. And I happened to be talking to Sister Beth Murphy from the Dominican Sisters of Springfield. And basically, we tossed around a few ideas, and then we decided, I'd like this one about the Dominican Literacy Center. And so she put me in touch with Sister Kathleen and some of the other staff from both the Aurora Center and another one in Melrose Park. And I talked to them, and I talked to some of the students and tutors. And at first, it was like trying to gather together the ideas and the information and try to put it together that way. But it seemed like the more I talked to some of the immigrant women about what their experiences were like coming here, why they decided to learn English, and the impact it had both on them as women and on their families and what they did in the future. So that is what truly inspired me to go forward with this project, because it wasn't just an immigrant story. This was a story about women. This was a story about education. It had a lot of universal themes that touched on all of our lives. In fact, one woman that's featured in the book, she was a survivor of domestic violence, and she had to go through the torment of trying to decide to get a divorce, raise her daughter on her own. She had some very meager jobs at the beginning, and eventually she learned English. Things improved. She got better jobs. She earned more money. Got her first savings account at a much later age than the rest of us. And it's sort of reflected in a lot of these other women as well, because each of them came with maybe little or nothing and built lives here, and very much so after they learned English at the center. And it just shows what a lot of people can do when they kind of bootstrap their lives. And basically, that's what a lot of these women did. They were really the Me Too movement way before the Me Too movement was even around or even a phrase. So they found the courage, they found the strength to see what they needed to do to change in their lives, and they did it. And eventually things did change for them, and they each succeeded in various ways. So I feature about 5 women in the book. Each of them has very relatable areas in their lives that where each of us can think, well, I've been there and I know what that's like. And then I also want to talk just briefly about how I shaped the book, because basically each of these women were some of the early students at the centers, and the center had just started, in a church basement with a couple of rickety old chairs and a table, and that also grew. So after about 25 years, you're going to see how these earlier students, how their lives changed over a 25-year period, that the same 25-year period that the center grew and sprung off into a second center. So in all of this, you'll see how their lives changed, and in a way, the book title came from one of the women's daughters, because the subject learned how to drive, got a used car, and the daughter was just so ecstatic. She says, we are just like eagles, because now they can go anywhere they wanted and do whatever they wanted. And indeed they were, because not only does that represent that particular mom, but a lot of mothers, a lot of women out there that were able to move on. So I hope that maybe that's the type of theme that we're going to be bringing forth.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Anna Marie. I'm so happy, in this moment with you sharing, this space and launching your official book and We Are Eagles. And thank you so much for sharing the wonderful inspirations of how, you became about this book and the wonderful things that have come out of it. And, for everyone listening today, it's We Are Eagles, the title, and it's so powerful. And the subtitle is Inspiring Stories of Immigrant Women who took bold steps in life through literacy. So I think that's so powerful. I think words and language is such a wonderful and powerful thing. So the fact that you were able to, work with this great center, that I'm so excited that we're going to get to talk to more guests later on, but it's so powerful, those connections that you made. I know we referenced that in the beginning, but they're very true. Those connections were made, and then those ladies obviously connected with the center, and now you get to work with them and write their stories and share their lives through this, so which is fantastic. I want to ask you, Anna Marie, did you how did this process start? I know you kind of have the inspiration, but I mean, logistically, I think this is so fantastic. This book is about, the stories of 5 women through the center and how their lives have changed and been affected through literacy, through learning English, through this. But how did you come up with this idea, or how long did it take from inception, this idea, to obviously now, April 10th, we're launching officially the book. Can you walk us through a little bit of that process initially so we can kind of understand a little bit more of why it's so important and amazing that we're here today finally?
Well, actually, it was Sister Beth in Springfield that had mentioned this, along with some other possibilities. And I've not been commissioned by anybody to do this. This is strictly something I did completely on my own. So I was connected with Sister Kathleen, and she had also connected me with some others. And so it was just a matter of talking with them and telling them what my vision was originally. And we kind of shaped it where the more I learned about some of these women, the more the book itself shaped in my mind. And I thought, well, this would be the best opportunity to talk with them further, because the more I learned from each of them, the more it took shape. But it was a little difficult at the beginning, because a lot of people just didn't know me. And it wasn't like I had a name of a publication behind me, like, that I had ordinarily written before for. And, whenever I went out there as a reporter on behalf of a publication, either a newspaper or magazine, people would identify quickly with that, and there would be a certain level of trust. But I was completely out there on my own, because this was truly an individual project where I, did not have a big name behind me. Nobody was sponsoring me. And so it was a level of helping to build a little bit of trust with each of these people. And so I took multiple times to visit with each of them, to talk with them, kind of review each time what we talked about, and then, hopefully had built up a certain level of trust where I would present their stories honestly. And that was a very important part of what I was hoping to do. So that is pretty much the method I used at the beginning.
Right. Wow, that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that you were able to you had a vision for the book, but also kind of taking a step back and saying, I want to be almost like a vessel for these women, for these stories, for you to share. And obviously, I'm glad that you are, because they're powerful stories that everyone is going to be so happy to have read them. So I'm excited that you were able to kind of make that decision and work with all the sisters and the people that were part of this book. And now that we're here celebrating that is really wonderful and great. So congratulations, Anna Marie.
Well, thank you. And but really the congratulations goes to each of these people The 5 I selected for the book itself, I believe they kind of represent other people out there that are coming in either as immigrants or even people who live here and how they may struggle with literacy issues. And basically, they each represent some things in our lives that we can each relate to. There's another woman there that also came from Mexico where, you know, she did okay when she was here. She loved the country and she eventually became a citizen. And later on in her job in her 60s, she was laid off. And how many people can relate to that? Where, you know, regardless of what industry you're in, you're suddenly faced with, okay, what do I do now when I'm at a certain age and no one's going to possibly hire you? So she made some very honest and direct decisions that would affect her and her family. And she's doing great. And so, you know, there's certainly an audience out there that would relate to that. And plus a lot of these women, when they learned how to drive or they learned other things or got some other goal in their life that they achieved, a lot of them did it at an older age here. And they did it without a lot of the advantages that many of us have had in the past. So, you know, a lot of the congratulations goes to them. And so that's why I'm hoping that these themes are what will reach out to readers to know that they're not alone.
Right. Yes, no, absolutely. And that's fantastic. And I'm really excited that some of these ladies are here to join us today a little bit later on. And we'll get to talk to them firsthand and their stories and their experiences, because like you said, this book, and I mean, I have to give, you know, credit where it's due, Anna Marie. I think that I love how selfless you are in sharing these women's stories and putting the spotlight on these women because they are so fantastic. But I think it's also important to recognize the hard work that you put into this too, and the wonderful work and, you know, love, like more than anything, I think the love that you have for storytelling, you as a, you know, your background as a journalist and so much more. So I think that's really great. And we should honor that moment too here with you today.
Well, thank you. But and also I think a lot of credit goes to like Sister Kathleen and the other staff that at Aurora and the Melrose Park facilities, because they do this day in and day out, and they need to reach out to people in different ways in order to help them learn. So it's not just, you know, giving them certain lessons and trying to teach them that way, but to also reach out to them in different ways in order for them to feel comfortable enough to learn. So that is what is probably one of the more important factors and themes that go throughout this book, because you'll see how when I shaped the book during that 25-year period, I also put it in different sections to reflect, like, say, the life of an eagle, you know, from the nest until they finally start flying. And basically that's what each of these women did. They had to start out somewhere, and they did, and they each knew where they had to go in order to achieve things for themselves and for their families and for the community. Because once they started doing more things, learning English and say accomplishing other of their goals, they also you know, contributed to their communities, and that's one of the more important things too to know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, that's so fantastic that you know, we're able to, you know, make those connections with the center and the wonderful things that they do there. And I want to, you know, chat with them very shortly to hear about them and the wonderful center that they are, and obviously one of the main inspirations here for the book. But right before we get started on that kind of second segment of the program today, I want to ask you one last question in terms of becoming an author. Many people watching here, and if you are watching, please be commenting. Please be putting questions. Well, I have a Q&A section at the end, so please, you know, answer, write some questions. We're also going to have a very special book giveaway at the end. So if you're watching and you're pre-registered, you are automatically entered to win wonderful books, because you are not going to want to miss this book. So exciting that we're going to have some of that. But Anna Marie, maybe there's a lot of people watching, very inspired, obviously, about the wonderful book that you've made, but maybe they have their own story inside of them too, and they want to kind of getting inspired with what we're sharing today. I want to know how was the author process for you in terms of kind of writing, you know, and And then because it's a process, right? It's not like you wake up one day and you have a book. Your book was, for example, I believe 3 years in the making, which is great. And it takes some time. But how was that process for you? And then obviously, designing, looking at the book, stuff like that, kind of like the logistical things of an author. How was your experience with that?
Well, it's interesting because my background is we've mentioned before, is mostly in newspapers and magazines.
Yeah.
So I was always deadline oriented. I had an assignment. I had a basically pound out a certain number of words every day, a certain number of stories every day. And basically that was my method to get from point A to point B on these stories. But doing a book, it was so radically different. And it's not only just a longer form, but it's a matter of shaping the book from a story arc, from the very beginning of someone's life or from an issue, and following it to how it grew and how it succeeded later at the end. Yeah. And so just shaping that was difficult in the sense that, you've got a lot of moving pieces now that you've gathered. I gathered a lot of information and data. I tried to double check everything I possibly could to make sure that what some of the ladies told me was accurate, because I would try and see if I could double check some of the facts and background or geography or whatever. Yeah. Or I would go to court and look at documents or look at different things to see if I could verify things like that. So it was a lot of journalism in the background working still to do this book. But I also put it through a few trusted editors that I knew before I started, thinking of getting published, just to make sure that, a lot of the odds and ends were meeting as well. So I certainly do appreciate a lot of eyes that have looked onto this book, both before I came to Fig Factor and even after, because once I was with Fig Factor, there were a number of editors too that went through it as well. And the process went fairly well where, they outlined what needed to be changed or organized. Mm-hmm. And so that was a major thing I learned. And well as approving, like even the cover, for example, some of the examples of covers that came were all gorgeous. And we selected this one. And, it had a little wow factor, because even when your dentist emails you and tells you, oh, this is great, you hit a beautiful cover. So, so really my congratulations goes out to some of the work behind the scenes to make a lot of that possible.
Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful. I'm so happy to, that experience, like you said, it's kind of a process. So, working with our editors, with designers, stuff like that, to finally have it, this book, finally your baby's made. It's wonderful to hear that. Wow, Anna Marie, this has been so wonderful, and I'm so happy that we're chatting about this book, but the program's not over. We have such exciting things coming forth. And this would be a great time, now that we kind of heard a little bit about you as an author, your experience. I want to kind of dive into the content of the book and the inspiration and what you write in it. And obviously a lot of it has to do with the Dominican Literary Center in Aurora, Literacy Center in Aurora, I apologize. And with that, you mentioned Sister Kathleen. And so I am so excited to bring forth Sister Kathleen for her to talk a little bit more about the center that is, talked about in the book, the wonderful things that they do there, and we're just so excited. So with that, I want to properly introduce Sister Kathleen and read a little bit of her bio so we can kind of know who she is, why it's so important, and happy that she's here with us, joining us today. But a little bit about Sister Kathleen Ryan. She was born in Chicago, Illinois, and is a Dominican sister from Springfield, Illinois. She has a BA in education from St. Ambrose College in Davenport, Iowa, and an MS in educational administration. Lost my place here. Educational administration and supervision from St. Thomas University in St. Paul, Minnesota. She has experience teaching all levels of elementary school and has been principal of 2 schools, in Algonquin, Illinois, and Ever Park, Illinois. With the support of her congregation, she began the Dominican Literary Center in Aurora, Illinois in 1993. The center began in a borrowed corner in St. Nicholas Parish basement with 4 students and has now expanded to a 17-room building, helping students and immigrants and over 200 women learning English from 200 tutors. With a staff of 7, the center has helped almost 3,000 women learn how to read, write, and speak English. Wow, absolutely incredible. And with that, I want to welcome Sister Kathleen Ryan. Welcome, sister. How are you?
Hi, Gabby. How are you? I'm just
well.
fine. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. I want to give you the floor for you to say a few words about this moment, about why we're all here, and thank you so much for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gabby. And thank you, Jackie, also for that wonderful introduction. And of course, Anna Marie for all the work, the years of work that she put in to making this wonderful book. And in a few minutes, we're going to hear the words of our very own women from the center, women that were here at the very beginning of the center, whose lives were impacted by the center, and then, of course, what has happened to them recently. So it's a great opportunity for me to again connect with them, and I think that our listeners will, and our readers will love seeing and hearing the stories that these wonderful women have to tell. I think that hearing the lives of these women and working with these women for over 25 years has been a wonderful experience. As you said, Gabby, we grew from a small rickety card table in the basement of a church to gradually over the years to a wonderful center with 7 staff members and 17 rooms. And every year we have 200 wonderful volunteer tutors, and each of them work separately with their student. So I want to thank them as well. And we always admire our students for being strong enough and brave enough to come forward and start the journey of learning English.
Wow, that's wonderful. And that's so exciting, Sister Kathleen. I think the center is so great, and people like you, who help many women and are here to help them, have even a better quality of life with learning English, and the opportunities that they open up is so fantastic. So thank you for joining us. We did have a question in terms of, I wonder if you could walk us maybe through the process of when a woman joins knocks on the door of the Dominican Literary Center, kind of like what is the process like? How long can they be there? What's kind of like a general, maybe for our audience wondering, wow, what did they do?
Okay, good question, Gabby. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. When a woman wants to come to the Dominican Literacy Center, they need to call us. They can speak whatever language they want, but they need to give us their name, their phone number, and they need to say, I want to learn English in any way that they wish. And then we call them back, and Judy Paulson, who is our registrar, will have a 1 hour or 45-minute session with them. They come to the center. The reason that we have people call us is that many times people say, oh, my sister-in-law needs to learn English, or my friend, and they give us the name. We call them and they say, we didn't ask to learn English. So now we ask our women, anybody that wants to come forward, please call us. After the interview, they have a test. Our women have a test in how much they speak English. And then after that, the staff looks at the outline of each woman and matches her with a volunteer tutor who has had 15 hours of training in working with ESL students. And then the women start. They come every week at just about the same time, and they're here for an hour and a half. They work with, first we all meet together in a little learning community, and then the students go off with their tutors, and each has a separate room and a separate learning space. So we don't want the women to be embarrassed. If they have questions, we want them to feel free. They can ask their tutor anything that they want. And because of that, I think many tutors and students have remained lifelong friends. So, and the women can stay here for up to 3 years. Most of them do stay the 3 years if they can, if it's possible. When we first started, we had enough room for the students to bring their children. But after a while, there were a lot of children running around here. So we had to say, you can bring your infants, you can bring your babies if they're in a carrier, but after that, you have to find a babysitter for them. And that works out fine. Also, I probably should say we do have a waiting list. We have had a waiting list since our first year. And some people have to wait quite a long time, many months, if they want evening classes. Some people wait only a little bit of time if they want daytime classes, because we do have 13 or 14 sessions every week. So people can tell us when they want to study, and it depends on their work schedule and their family schedule.
Got it. Wow. Thank you so much for that wonderful, thorough explanation of the center. I think that's so great that, you know, women are able to come and say, I need help. I need help. And then you guys are so wonderful and I'm so impressed with the growth that has happened. But I think it also shows just the need, you know, that's out there. You know, that women need this, that immigrant women need this, and how valuable it is for them once they do receive this education and this training and this support more than anything by you, sister, and that your center is wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to have a special thank you to Sister Ann Clennon, who, after I was doing this process for 3 years, she came forward and came on staff. And she and I worked together as a team for many years and formed the program. And when she left, then we started to increase the staff. And one of the women you're going to see here was a first student, and now she is on staff here at the center. That's Maria Dominguez.
That's so exciting. And it's so wonderful to see it come full circle that, you know, these women that you've empowered and helped, you know, back in the day when they were starting out are now taking positions, you know, in the center. And I think you mentioned it later on in advisory boards, like families, stuff like that, that have continued and stayed on. And I think it shows the impact that, you know, people like you, sister, have made in their lives. So I think that's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I do too. I think these women are wonderful.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And sister, I know we have a very special video that we want to show about the center so that everyone watching kind of has a really clear idea of how wonderful this center and this program is for women. So I want to be able to share that before we bring other very special guests on board today. So let us watch this wonderful video about the Dominican Center.
Thank you.
When I moved to the United States, I only knew a few words of English.
When I moved here, I couldn't talk with my children's friends and their parents.
I came as a refugee from Burma with my husband and my 3 children.
When I was in Iraq, I loved having many friends and being independent.
At the Dominican Literacy Center, it is our mission to provide opportunities for immigrant women to receive individual tutoring in reading, writing, and speaking English as a second language. The women who come to us are from many countries, and they are all put on a path to a successful life in their new country. Learning English language skills helps these women to become informed mothers, confident workers, and full participants in life here in the United States. Here at the Dominican Literacy Center, we also assist women and men who are studying to take the naturalization test. As a nonprofit, we are blessed to be able to provide all of these opportunities through individual tutoring by trained volunteers within the neighborhood setting. All tutors receive 14 hours of training and ongoing support from the Dominican Literacy Center staff. We believe in empowerment through education and the dignity of each individual who walks through our doors. We are here to provide hope.
Now I feel comfortable talking to my children's friends and their parents.
I can have conversations with people in English and Spanish.
I am studying now to become U.S. citizen.
Now that I speak English, I finally feel independent and have friends again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
Shukran.
Gracias.
See you, Timbare.
Thank you for giving me hope.
Wow. I'm speechless. That is absolutely incredible. And I got goosebumps just listening to that video. Absolutely amazing, Sister Kathleen. The work that you all do at the Dominican Literacy Center is so powerful. And as an immigrant myself, my family learning English, I know firsthand how powerful being able to communicate and, learning a language. And so that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for the work that you do.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always a privilege. It has been a privilege all these years.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. Well, Sister Kathleen, I know that you, after listening to that wonderful video, we have very important and special guests that are joining us here today as well. And I'd love to give you the floor to introduce some of these women that are a part of We Are Eagles. Their stories are being shared, but giving them an opportunity to also be here, sharing them firsthand from their experiences, this opportunity. So I yield the floor back to you and introducing these women.
Thank you, Gabi. The first person who will be sharing her life experiences with us is Maribel Molina. Maribel was an evening student, and she stayed with us for 3 years. And then, as she might mention, after she finished with us, she went on to Wabansi Community College with her and got her ESL certificate, and then went on and now has her own little business. So I think you're going to enjoy seeing Maribel Molina Cortez.
Hi, my name is Maribel Molina Cortez, and I'm one of the students for the center. I believe it's one of the first students from the center. When I started here, it wasn't part of my plans. We were victims, my daughter and myself, of the domestic violence. And I was part of the support group. When they invited us to introduce Sister Kathleen and Sister Anne in our lives, I thought that I wouldn't have time for the English classes. I thought that it was something that I don't need it at that time. So we came, and when Sister Kathleen opened the doors, the center, I feel welcome. I felt love, and that's one of the main reasons why I continue taking the English classes. We come every week, and at that time I didn't write. So many times I come with the wet clothes, and they always have something for us to make us feel special. A cup of coffee, a warm soup. She was always more than just my teacher. She was my angel. And the reason that I'm here is because I want people to know that angels exist, but sometimes we don't see them. And they come with big opportunities. And for me to learn English opened the door in many different ways. I was able to help my daughter with her homework. I was able to communicate. I was able to take all the opportunities that came along in my life. And little by little, our life changed. We didn't have a place to live. We didn't have any money. I not even have a dream to have a car. And like I said, little by little, life changed. And I have better job, better opportunities. I have the chance to buy a house, to own a house, something that I thought it would be impossible for me. I decide that I will have, anytime that I have the chance to be in a different place, to eat something that I never thought that I would be eating, or to do something that I thought it would be impossible, I will have the risk, I will have the chance to make that real. In the past years, I run the marathon, Chicago's marathon. And for me, it was something amazing, something that I never thought it would be possible. To be surrendered for runners from all over the world and to communicate, I was like, wow, thank you, God, for this opportunity. Because if I wouldn't speak English, I wouldn't be able to ask the other person right next to me, where are you coming from? What are you doing here? But it was amazing. And every time that I have the chance to do something better in my life, I always stop and I look back and I say, any of this would it be possible if I wouldn't speak English? Like Sister Kathleen mentioned, I'm on a Mexican restaurant, and was one of my biggest dreams, but I never thought it would be possible because no money, no language, no family. Many times we put a lot of excuse in order to success. And God is so good with us that I can say now that every single dream came another, and now they become real. I become a resident. I'm working on my classes to become a citizen. I hope that is coming this year. And like I said, chances are for everybody, but the excuses also, we also have a lot of excuses in order to do that. But I want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for everything, the Sister Ann and Sister Kathleen and all the sisters that they have done in our lives, because everything is possible, but we need to be prepared. The center changed our lives in every single way. I want to say thank you to Sister Kathleen. Thank you to Anne-Marie for inviting us. And I don't know if you have any questions. I'm so nervous, sorry.
Thank you so much, Maribel. I think that you are fantastic, and thank you so much for joining us today. I think you are sitting here and listening to your story is so inspiring, and I know everyone in the comments is going crazy saying, wow, you're amazing, Maribel. Angels do exist. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to have an opportunity for questions after we meet all of the wonderful ladies.
Okay.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you. Wow, it's been so wonderful. And I'm really excited, Sister Kathleen, for you to introduce our wonderful and next speaker.
Thank you, Maribel. Our next person that we're going to listen to is my very, very first student. Her name is Juanita Rodriguez, and she was sitting with me at that church basement on those rickety chairs. And we spent a lot of time together in that basement. And I'm really, really happy to introduce Juanita Rodriguez.
Hello. Hello, my name is Juanita Rodriguez. And that's what you say, I am the first student. We studied in the basement. I heard about her when I go to church, and she got to announce that she want to have open classes only for women. He say only for women because women always are the last ones, because we always busy with the kids, with the husband, with the things that we do at the home. So she said that she wanna do something for us. No man, just woman. So I say I want to try because before I tried it at Guabance Community College, and for me it was so hard because I don't have education in Mexico. I don't have nothing in Mexico. I learned by myself how to learn, how to writing, how to reading, and it was hard for me to speak because I was embarrassed. I was so shy to embarrassed to speak because I thinking that people wanna laugh at me. So when I saw her, I don't know how or where, but she gave me like a power, like she gave me like a, you can do it, you can do it. And she's like an angel, like Maribel said. She's everything for me. She was my teacher, my friend, my best friend. She helped me not only with English, but she helped me in my life, with my problems, with my kids, with everything. She come to my life and she changed it 100%. I lost my child. I started speaking English to everybody, and I don't care if they laugh at me because she say, you can do it. You can do it. Don't put attention on the other people, and you can learn, and you can do it. That was for me very, very hard because that's what I say. I don't have education, but I want to learn because I want to change my life because I don't want to depend on nobody. I don't want to depend on my husband. My husband always there when I need something. My kids start school. They go here in St. Teresa. So I want to help him to do the homework, but I can't because I don't know how to speak English. And I do it for myself, but also I do it for my family. And thanks to the sister, because sister is an angel, for real. She's the best person in my life. She changed it forever. She changed her a lot of things. Now I can help another people to, when I saw people speaking and they have a trouble to explain people how they want it. Now I can do that. I can do that at work. I can do that at store. I can do that at the street, whatever I go, because I trust myself. I feel comfortable to help another people because I learned for her. I learned for her because she helped different ways, not only to speak English, to help a lot of people. And he touched my life and he changed my life. And he never go away from me anymore. And my kids love her so much. And my husband loved her so much, all my family. And I love her so much. Thanks to her, I am where I am right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juanita. That was wonderful words. You are so inspiring, and you know, your words are so powerful. And thank you so much for sharing. I think you said that changing, you know, a mother's a life in literacy and learning changes the whole family. And I think that's so powerful. And I'm sure your family is so proud of you and loves you. And you know, your kids, everyone is wonderful. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your wonderful story with us.
Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you. Wow, I don't know, our audience, you're listening to these wonderful stories. Please share comments, questions, everything. I'm so happy that we're listening to these stories. Thank you, Sister Kathleen.
Thank you, Gabi. And thank you, Juanita. We have been friends forever, and I'm sure we will always be friends forever. Our next student is Maria, or our next person is Maria Dominguez. Maria was one of our first students also. Her tutor was Sister Ann, and she brought her little boy, Alonso, who is not so little anymore. In fact, he's just became a father of a new baby. Maria Dominguez not only has done many, many wonderful things, but she is also on staff here at the center. So I'd like to introduce Maria Dominguez.
Hi. So I just want to say that I'm grateful to be here. And I always get emotional when I have to talk about coming to United States and starting my new life over here. With and the time I came with my little girl who was 3 years old. So it was so difficult. And I have to say that I will always be grateful to Dominican Literacy Center, and especially grateful to Sister Ann, who was my teacher, my friend. She was like my mother. She was like my sister. She was like my friend. Without her support, I will not be able probably to be here now. My family, and not my life, not only my life, the lives of my family, my kids work hard. I feel like I didn't have family until I get here at Dominican Literacy Center. I tried to learn English before I came here, and I had to quit a few times because I always feel like I didn't fit there. Like I was less than everybody. But when I hear about this program, I came here and like a couple days after with my husband, because in that time I didn't drive, I didn't have a car, and I didn't have confidence in myself. I have to rely on my husband for everything. If I have to go to the doctor, he has to ask for a time off to go with me. If we have to go to the school, my children's school for parents conference, he has to ask for a time off to go to. And it made me feel bad. It made me feel like I didn't go anything. So when I came here and I knocked on the door, and Sister Ann opened the door and welcomed me with that big smile and kindness in her face, I couldn't believe it. It could happen to me. So I talked to Sister Ann and to Sister Kathleen about my experiences trying to learn English. And they told me, you can start on Monday if you want. You don't know how happy I feel, how welcome I feel to be here. When I finished talking to them, and I'm sorry, but they are my family since that day. When I left the building, I say to my husband, I can't believe in my good luck. I can't believe I'm going to be here and learn English and be with people like them. And he said, see, I told you, you need to believe in God. They are your angels. So every time I hear the other students say the word angel, I thought, wow, they must be. They must be. So I think I'm even more lucky of everybody else, because after I graduated over here, I cry a lot because I didn't want to leave my family, the family I find over here. And probably after 1 year and a half, Sister Kathleen called me and asked me if I want to come and work here. And I say, no, I can't. And she said, why, Maria? I say, because, you know, I don't have education. I don't have enough education to work in a place like that. I can't do it. You have to find a better person than me, a qualified persons who have college, who know how to work. And she said, to work there at the center. I don't want, in my mind, I didn't say it to her, but in my mind, I thought, I prefer to keep them like my family and friends, to go and work there and disappoint them. So Sister Kathleen said, no, Maria, I want you, we want you, and we're going to train you. So I think I just talk about that a couple minutes and I say, okay, I will do it. And look, I'm still here. So I want to say that being here, not like a student, like now like a staff member, it gave me confidence. I gain a lot of things. I grow like a person, but not only me, my family. I'm so proud because I have 3 kids and the 3 of them now graduate from college and they are a good human beings. So sorry, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Anne-Marie, and thank you, Gabby.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, I am cleaning up my own tears, Maria. Thank you so much. You are incredible, spectacular, and all of these women, and you're especially, you know, your story is so powerful. You coming back now and, you know, being helping other women that once were in your situation is absolutely wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing. Sister Kathleen, you are so lucky. These women are incredible. You get to interact with them on a day.
You're right. I am so lucky. All of us here at the center are so lucky to be working with these women who also become our friends. It's not one way.
Yeah.
We find new friends here as well.
Mm.
And our last person is Teresa Tranado. She's very nervous. Teresa came to the United States in the middle of a very cold winter. She was freezing. I remember the first time she came here, it was snowing and cold, and she was really not happy. But Teresa has finished with us, and she's become a citizen, a U.S. citizen. And her family has gone on to help the center, especially her little baby, Lazaro, who now is a wonderful adult. And I'd like to introduce to you our student and friend, Teresa Tranado.
Hi, my name is Teresa Trinado. Many obstacles. I listen to my friends, and it's the same part of the line. I come here in 25 years ago for a student. I say always, thank you, God, for put my angels, Sister Anna, Sister Kathleen. And when I come here, I have 3 children, and I pregnant her Lazaro, and she accepted me my baby, and I am student, and my English is very slow for understand because I don't have education. I have my sister and 2 brothers, and I help my parents in the field. I don't have education. I am studying here and then at the Wamansi, continue, and I got a green card. It's a four goals, and I have in my life got it the green card and driver license and I say citizenship, and I learn English. But learning English is slowly because I don't know in Mexico. I don't know the letters or something, nothing. And I got married when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And my husband is wonderful person, and he worked for 29 years work for the other person, and now feel sad because the person said no more job, and he said, why? my husband is now continue to working owner company in landscaping. I'm sorry for my English. My English is not perfect, but I understand a little more than speaking. But thank you very much, Sister Anna, Sister Kathleen. Help every years and Christmas, special Christmas. My sons say, "Oh, it's the angel," and every year. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I speak well, but thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Your English is wonderful. Thank you, and for sharing and for being here with us today. It means everything to be able to chat with you and listen to your story. It's powerful, and thankfully you're here. Wow. Sister Kathleen, thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure, a treat for all of us listening on Facebook here to these wonderful women. And thank you, this common theme that you, sister, and everyone in the staff here at the Dominican Center are true angels, as it has been reiterated over and over again, that you really do change lives. So thank you for being who you are, doing the work that you do. It's so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabby. And I want to say that these women have been such bearers of good news to us. They've shared their own selves. They have showed us the way to really live a good life, and we admire them. And in many ways, we try to be like them. So thank you. It's all mutual.
Wonderful. Thank you, sister, so much. And now, obviously, everyone listening, you've heard these wonderful testimonies of the center, of the work that they do. And you have, if you enjoyed this moment, you absolutely need to get the book. It outlines so much more of their story, so much more of the journeys that they went through in their lives and through the center. So in the comments, you have the link there. Please purchase your book. It'll soon be available to an electronic copy, which is exciting. But please purchase your book, support, and as well as a portion of the proceeds will be going back to the Dominican Literacy Center. So that's wonderful news and a way to support. So thank you. And with this, I would love to bring back Anna Marie to the conversation. And Marie, I want to first hear your thoughts of what you've just witnessed here yourself. I know you've been kind of quiet and gave the floor to these women, but I want to hear a little bit about you. This moment for you too, that you were able to interact with these women and write their stories and work with them and interview, and obviously have them now too launching it today. How do you feel?
Well, the reactions of each of the women were just remarkable and very honest. I witnessed a lot of that too as we were talking, and that was another step that I had to take back as a former journalist, to try and be sensitive to a lot of people when they're in situations like that, and how to talk with them and to be respectful. And that's what I had hoped to do during the process of interviewing them on multiple occasions. So there were times when we would be sitting together either at a restaurant or at a local library or at their homes. And, there were times that they would laugh about something and times like this where they would cry about it. And so we did include, some of the dark passages they had to go through over the years and what they had to overcome. And we're hoping that people will also see towards the end of the book, a lot of the things that they had accomplished and what had taken place in their lives. How they got from point A to point B isn't always a straight line for anybody, but they definitely had to take extra steps to get there. So I certainly thank all of them for, pretty much bearing their souls about some details in their lives that, were possibly the first times they talked publicly about them. So in many ways, that's what the readers are going to see. They're going to see a inside what happened to some of these people and how it affected their lives. But truly, they now are grandmothers. They seen their own children grow up and go to college or high school, graduate, move on to some really good jobs. And they became grandmothers. Some of them are babysitting. So it's like their whole lives, the whole circle of life has come to pass for them, and they've enjoyed what they've accomplished, and they should. And so that's why I'm hoping that that's what the readers are going to take away from this. Not only are they going to relate to some of the same things that these women had experienced, but also the fact that there's light at the end of the tunnel for many of them. When they experience bad things, good things could happen too. So I'm hoping that not only will this book inspire maybe others to make changes in their lives, either with education or something else, but also to help. There were a lot of tutors that became inspired to help and to volunteer their times as well. Maybe not just at these centers here, but also across the country. There are similar educational places, either centers or schools, that offer teaching as well and helping people.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you, Anna Marie. I think you're so right. And I think I want to reiterate with the point you said about, sharing the stories, all moments of the story, the happy moments, the ones that you mentioned that, cause laughter, cause wonderful inspiration, but also the tough moments too. And the moments that really, are impactful, that allow us to grow. And obviously, these women, what they went through and everything, and the help. And I'm so happy that you're able to kind of showcase that. And so everyone who reads this book will be definitely in for a wonderful treat, and so many emotions will be experienced within the book. So it's very, very powerful. Wonderful. Well, I know that we have had some questions that I'd love to ask, so we can kind of continue the conversation, but also I know we're looking at the time as well. I want to open it up for, this question can be for you, Anna Marie, for you, Sister Kathleen, I apologize, to know a little bit more. So this one is, what has been one of the greatest lessons that you have learned in writing, for you, Anna Marie, and possibly for you, Sister, in the center, being one of a director of the center, one of the greatest lessons perhaps you've learned internally, just that you'd like to share with our audience today? So we can have you, Anna Marie, first.
Oh, okay. One of the greatest lessons I've learned with my work from the past as well as now is try to be as honest as possible with people when I deal with them, and also in my writing as well. I've written this book in a very simple, direct way. I never have been very flowery with the words that I've used, because I believe if you do some straight talking with people, they'll understand and they'll appreciate it. So I would say that honesty and directness were probably some of the greatest lessons I've learned over the years, and which I've applied here as well.
Mm-hmm. Love that. So right. Being honest and authentic with your work you can't go wrong with that. Wonderful. What about you, Sister Kathleen, and your experience with that, in the center and a woman, and kind of maybe a lesson you could share with us too for inspiration today?
I think that one of the things that I'm still learning, that I have been learning and still learning, is that the most important thing we can do for other people is to listen to them and to give them a space for speaking from the heart. And that sounds very simple and it sounds very easy, but for myself, one of my jobs is to provide money and funding for this program. That's one of my primary responsibilities. And I really have been trying to learn and continuing to learn to put that aside. Money, getting the funding for the program, that's important. But the people are the most important thing. We are here for these women. And I keep reminding myself that, and I believe it, and I'm still learning it. People are the most important thing.
Yeah. I love that answer. And it's so true. I think, what makes the center is the people. Sometimes when it's like a building, anything that's wonderful, it's all material things, but the heart and the people are what make a moment special. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. I also want to ask, I know I'm so excited for you all to be able to read all of the comments. We have been getting so many commentaries for the woman, for you, sister, for you, Anna Marie, so many wonderful comments, but I'm not sure if the women are still around, the wonderful
Yes,
women.
they are.
But what a question that we have is, what would you say to someone else that was in your situation today? We'd love to hear from anyone.
Let's see, is everybody, can you see everybody?
Yes, you can see them.
Let's get Teresa in. Teresa, move over a little bit. There we go. All right, just be friendly, be nice and friendly. Okay, what was the question again, Gabi?
Yes, it was, what would you say to another woman who was in your position similarly today? What would you say to them?
Sure. Okay. What I will say is to believe in yourself in order to create something different in your life. Everything is possible, but if we don't take the chance, we don't take the risk, you're never going to see any changes in your life. So to take the opportunity and not to be afraid. Everything is possible when you believe in yourself.
Love that. Thank you so much, Maribel. Yes, Juanita.
For me, I say, yeah, it's a lot of people in there, and they scared to try new things, and they say, I don't understand, and I don't not speak English, so I don't know if I can go in there. And I say, yeah, be brave and go and try it. If you don't like it, just leave. But nobody leave, because when you cross the door, you're stuck in there, because there's a wonderful people in here. They give us, it's not only they teach us, they give us like the power, I feel like this my family forever, because this woman, Sister Kathleen, they was my confidence, they helped me with my problems. Sometimes they say, I'm sorry, sister, I supposedly come to class, but I started speaking about my personal problems. And she said, oh, don't worry, it's part of the practice. So you practice English. So
yes, true.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. This program is the best. It's the best. They changed my life forever. My kids grown up in here. See Sister Kathleen, they go to here to church, to school. And now they are adults, they are mothers. I have 4 grandkids, and they are professional. They go to university, and my husband is a wonderful husband. I got a wonderful family, and they are so proud of me, because a Sister Kathleen, he helped me a lot, for real.
Anybody else, Maria? What advice would you give to somebody in the same situation that you were in?
I've been giving advices to some of the students over here, because sometimes when I have to go to translate for them, a lot of times they say, I am nervous, I don't know anything, I don't know any words, I will not be able to learn, I will be embarrassed. And I say, if I learn, you could learn. Because when I came here, I was exactly like you. I used to feel exactly like you. And all the tutors, not only the sisters, all the tutors who are here because they want to help. They want to share their knowledge to all of us. And I always assure them that when they finish, when they graduate, they're going to go out, they're going to graduate able to speak English. to communicate with others. So I always say, don't surround yourself. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Teresa, I'm not sure if you wanted to share. If not, no, totally fine. No,
she agrees.
Only thank you, sister. Only thank you, Sister Kathy, for giving me the opportunity. And I changed my life because I have 8 grandsons, and 8 grandsons, and they are speaking in English sometimes. What do you say? I understand. Thank you,
Teresa.
Wonderful.
This is the best.
Yes.
I am so lucky because that's the only teacher that I have. Because I was the very first beginning student. Just me and her.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure talking to you all, ladies. I'm really excited, as I mentioned, for you to read some of these comments. But while I have you here, I'd love to read some of them just because they're so special. People are saying that you are such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you for having the courage to share your stories. You are our heroes. Everyone's saying extraordinarias y valientes mujeres. Wow, qué mujeres. Yes, I'm saying, nunca se disculpen por compartir sus historias de corazón y con tanta emoción. Felicidades. Thank you, everyone. So many wonderful, increíbles. Thank you. These women are wonderful. More comments are coming. So hopefully when you have a chance, you can read that. And thank you once again, ladies, for being here and for accompanying us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I want to make sure that we kind of come back, and I know we're kind of getting to our close, but we mentioned that we were going to have a free giveaway of books, and now after listening to this incredible stories, I'm sure everyone is just running to Amazon to get their own copy because you need to. But these people, these lucky people, will actually get a book sent to them. On behalf of Fake Factor Media, thank you for being here. And drum roll, please, for our lucky winners. We have, thank you to Dorothy Dornfield. Congratulations, Dorothy. We also have Judith Polson, one of the winners, Jean McKee, Mary Kelly, and Litina Carnes are 5 winners. So thank you so much. These wonderful women winners, we will be reaching out to you individually, but thank you so much. Wonderful. So with this, I want to bring back Anna Marie and obviously Sister Kathleen. But Anna Marie, as we're wrapping up, I want to know, the audience, thank you obviously once again for joining us. This has been such a blast, having everyone hear these stories. I might rewatch this entire thing because I want to hear again with the wonderful stories of these women. But Anna Marie, what's next? Now you wrote the book. Now you have, the book is going to be available. I think the journey's just beginning. A new journey is beginning now. I'd love to hear from you. What do you have in your heart, in your mind? Obviously, as much as you can share, but what's coming next? What can we expect from you, from these stories? Anything that is worth sharing, and so how we can support you as well.
Well, that's great, and I do appreciate all of the love and support I've received while doing this, especially from my husband Jim. My goodness, he's dealt with a lot with me, either disappearing to work on the book, doing the interviews, traveling back and forth to verify things, and also all the nights that I've been writing on this, and his love and support for guiding me through a lot of questions that I had as well, because, like every other writer, you get to a point like, can I finish this? It sounds much bigger than I've expected. I didn't expect this. It certainly wasn't like, a cover story in a magazine where, you had a set amount of time to finish it. And so, there's a lot of people to thank, and besides my family, Sister Kathleen and her staff, and you, Gabby, and Fig Factor and JGR Marketing, too, I'd like to thank, and some editors that I've worked with previously. had all helped to guide me on this. And as far as the future goes, I'm intending to continue my freelance writing as well as working on the next book. So I've already started that, and hopefully at some point we'll finish that, and you may hear from me again at some point down the road for people who may be listening now. And I certainly appreciate everybody who logged on to listen to this program, because a lot of them too are important to getting the message out on things like this. So I certainly appreciate everyone who's followed me over the years as well. So thank you to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anna Marie. Sister Kathleen, I'm not sure if you want to say any words and how we can support you in the center and the more of these women here today.
Thank you. Well, we do invite, excuse me, any women who feel that it's impossible to read, write, and speak English. Please contact us. We do have a Facebook page, Dominican Literacy Center, and we also have a website, www.dominicanliteracycenter.org, and all of our information is there. So we are really open to helping anybody that we can still help. We always are happy with donations. If anyone wants to make a donation, again, they can look on our Facebook page or our web page. I want to thank Anna Marie for 2 years of work on this book. She did a lot of traveling and a lot of tracking people down, and she had a lot of patience with us. So thank you for that. And especially thank you for focusing on the lives of these women. They, in other circumstances, this would never happen. Their lives would not be important, but now they know that their lives are important. And so these are the people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mary, thank you so much. Gaby, gracias.
Claro que sí, de nada. Wonderful. Wow. Well, thank you once again. Thank you so much. This has been an absolute blast, an absolute wonderful light in my morning. And I know for everyone watching us today, as Anna Marie mentioned, the book, please support it. I'm so excited. I'm going to share my screen here a little bit. Oops, 1 second. It's available now on Amazon. Please support these wonderful and incredible woman, Anna Marie, the center, so many wonderful things. You can now get it. Please connect with Anna Marie, at her social media, Anna Marie Tomczyk. Visit the Dominican Literacy Center, make some donations. Please help these women and the countless more women that are still coming through the doors to help. And thank you so much for everyone for being here today. I wish you an absolute wonderful rest of your day. I also want to wish and thank obviously Anna Marie for trusting us and working with us here at Big Factor Media. And thank you, Anna Marie. I want to give you the very last final word and our go forth for the day. And thank you. I want to bring everyone out on screen for being here with us today. And thank you. I literally just want to I'm grateful. This has been a privilege for me to be here with you all.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Have an incredible, amazing day. We will send a thank you out email to everyone who registered with even more information. But thank you. Have a blessed day, everyone. And please, as Jackie mentioned, taking off on your dreams is mandatory, but landing on them is absolutely obligatory. So let's do it, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.